Hey everyone, and welcome to the 21st episode of the Luke Roxwold podcast. I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today I'm here with Shayne.
This podcast is officially legal.
Wait.
21.
Oh. And John.
This podcast's old enough to party.
That's
Hey.
right. As always, you can check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. And I actually got the episodes up on YouTube. I caught up. So it's really there.
I need to subscribe to that channel.
You really
I'm
have
gonna do it right now.
no excuse now. No excuse.
Nice.
Unless you don't support us. So
Is the
support
YouTube,
us.
is it
Yeah,
Luke
just look-
Roxwold Podcast?
Yeah, just search for Luke Roxwold Podcast, which the name
Okay,
is
guys.
a work in progress, but
Yeah,
that's it
true.
for now. We're working on it.
I'm about to go subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, guys, so you have no excuse if I'm doing it. You're doing
Live. He's doing it live.
it. Roxwold. The amount of times I've YouTube Luke's name.
It's funny though because if you this is kind of an Easter egg. If you go onto YouTube on any phone,
You have competition, dude. There's a Luke Rockhold.
I know that. Yeah, I know. What a jerk. My whole life, but I am the only Luke Roxwold in the world. But if you go to YouTube and you type in Luke Rocks, actually, this guy might be messing things up. But in the past, when you typed in Luke Rocks, my name would show up in the suggestion, even if you'd never searched me before. That's pretty cool. Like I think I'm pretty proud of that actually, because I'm sort of.
No, you should be. That's very, like, when it comes to professional work, it's definitely gonna.
I mean, I've been on YouTube long enough that it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm just there now. You know.
Yeah, you just
I
come
exist.
up. It's great. I exist.
So we were talking before we started recording. We were talking about my script that I'm working on for my film, and it is coming along well. And I am hiring actors for free, so that's good news on my part.
And you're not writing that alone.
No, so I came up with like a scene. This is the thing. Here's how I like to make movies. I just want to come up with one scene, and I just want to film that one scene. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to come up with a story around the scene, and so there is two scenes in the movie that, at least in writing right now, that are they're solid. They're really, really good, and I'm really excited to film them. And the rest is fine, because those two scenes are the ones that I really want to do.
Right.
So you're writing it as well.
Yeah, so I came up with the original idea was the original this is the scene. Let's come up with a story around this scene type
To
thing.
go around the
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's just I'm not a pre-production guy. I don't really like writing scripts.
But that's just your process. Because honestly, if you have a scene, that can just spark a whole story.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And, I'm a little bit better at taking a scene and then making it work. So it's here, Luke, here's the script, make it cool. Okay, I'll do that. But when it's hey, Luke, come up with the script. Oh,
yeah,
that I'm not very good
the
at.
full plot and character and story.
No, I just don't.
Development.
I'm just not. I'm not really interested in.
Continuity.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in being good at doing that either, because I feel like a lot of people are good at that, and I just don't really want to be good at that. But anyway,
I've
so
tried. I don't have the patience.
yeah, it's just.
No offense. I just don't have the patience.
I don't. Yeah, I just want to film and edit stuff. Or film, edit, and direct stuff. I don't want to be doing this writing stuff. But so I came up with the idea, and then I bounced it off of a couple people, one of my actors, and then one of my writers, and we kind of bounced the idea and came up with a story. And it was kind of I had the vision for what I was looking for, and then I worked with them to kind of come up with the base story. And then the writer guy, he wrote out most of what I came up with, and then sent it to me, and I reviewed it, and then sent it back to him. He wrote some more, and now I've got it, and I'm trying to just finish it up and make it, tie up some plot holes and change some dialogue to the type of dialogue that I want, and then we're gonna try and send the script to my actor and casting director, and he's gonna get actors to do casting calls. So it's
Cool.
pretty
So
exciting.
how long is it?
Well, so the script is 19 pages,
Okay.
which
That's not
in
bad.
film, that's supposed to mean it's going to be
A
19
minute
minutes
per
long.
page. Yeah, but we all
But-
know that's not true.
Well, it sometimes is, but I don't think
yeah.
it is for my script because I insert like a lot of.
You have a lot of movement, right? Or blocking in yours.
Yeah, and like I write it in there. So like if I want to remember that there's supposed to be silence somewhere, I will say, like somebody says some
Yeah,
dialogue.
you give yourself little notes. Yeah.
Yeah, basically every shot in the movie has a sentence in my script.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like someone says a line, then it shows the other person shrinks. The person says another line, the other person doesn't look them in the eye. You know, I like explain what both characters are doing. But anyway, I mean, have you ever written? You've written a script because you said you were working on.
I've
projects
written many
before.
scripts. Yeah, I've written scripts since middle school. Like I used to love it a lot.
Well,
yeah,
and-
I've used
well,
to love it a lot.
playwriting scripts. Which I
Yeah. But I mean, well,
Yeah, what-
I was gonna say they're all
whatever.
kind of the same, but not really. There's a lot of different techniques, I guess, that go into the film stuff. But
John, have you ever written a script or a story or something like that?
No, only stuff I had to do for school.
Stuff you were forced to do.
Yeah, but I was just curious. Well, I find writing like
Stuff you were
incredibly
forced to
boring.
do.
Like, so I've tried to write for like
Really?
Incredibly
Comics?
boring.
like I used to do comics, and
I
just
didn't
I
know
found
that.
writing so incredibly
It's not even
boring.
writing.
So,
really,
are you serious? What?
I love writing.
Wait.
Comics requires an incredible amount of writing talent.
Well, no. Yeah, I mean it does, but I'm saying, like, you get to draw and write. How is that not exciting?
I only like to draw. I don't like to write.
I didn't think about
That's
it.
where you find. That's where you
I'm
find a
think-
partner to work.
I'm
with.
thinking through this now, and like, you do a lot of editing when you're writing a story, and
Mhm.
that just made me realize like things like graphic novels. That would be annoying because as soon as you decided like, oh, actually, I'm gonna change this thing back at the beginning, you can't just like shift all the pictures over and
Yeah,
put a new
redraw.
picture. You know, because it's like
Ooh, yeah.
every page is dependent on that picture. That's probably a little easier now that you have computers, but it's like you're drawing it out and then like, oh shoot, I actually want to change this, so let's just insert a little photo in here and
Well-
change all the dialogue and all the little
Well,
bubbles all
I'm
the
sure
way.
they have it all. I'm sure they have it all written and edited first before they do pictures.
Yeah, it's like
They
a
probably
script for a film.
do your
That would make the most
storyboard
sense.
stuff.
Yeah.
But the big thing I found like difficult with writing is just dialogue interaction between characters. Like I could
Oh.
come up with a big
I can do
overall
that for
story, but
days.
I cannot do dialogue.
Interesting. I feel like I'm kind of the opposite, where
Yeah, me too.
I'm
really good at
okay at
dialogue.
coming up with dialogue, but I'm not good at coming up with overarching stories.
Something I'm curious about is not to go off topic. Well, it's not really off topic, but
I was gonna say like
you're-
we're like a perfect match. We're like, oh, I'm good at this side. Yeah, I'm not good at that, but I'm good at the other side. And then there's just dead silence. Nobody
you
says
got your
anything.
peanut butter in my chocolate.
All right, what were you gonna say there?
No, I was just gonna say like I'm curious. You guys were talking about the differences between the film writing and play theater writing, and I guess like the mesh you get is Tarantino. I don't know. Like I forgot where I was going with that question, but
Like, what's the? Well, I mean, that's a
Well,
good question about what's the difference between
yeah.
a
like
script
what's
for
he
a
doing to
film.
be able to bring? Because he's clearly like a good at playwright. Like right?
Yeah, well, he's a
Like,
good.
his
I
stuff,
know
like,
that
all
Tarantino.
dialogue.
Yeah, Tarantino. I love Tarantino. I really like the way he shoots things, and I really like his dialogue. And there's a lot of things actually in the film that I'm making that is semi-inspired by Tarantino. But I think Tarantino, he writes like novels and then turns them into scripts, which is
Interesting.
That's
would
what I
make sense.
heard. That's what I heard. But I know
It's a
that
lot
with
of work.
playwriting, so I mean, Shayne has the most cross-culture experience between plays and film because
Yeah.
you've done a bunch of both.
I have dabbled in both worlds.
And so I think with plays, well, I mean, there's a lot less subtlety that you can do with plays
Well,
because
I
a
think
camera
the
can be
main-
a foot away from somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the main difference in terms of writing is that you have a lot more leeway with film because you have different locations and different scenes. that you can carry on a story throughout. With the play, you're kind of in one set location for most of it, so you kind of have to, the scenes are longer, the story is more, the characters are more, I don't want to say more developed, but their thoughts are louder.
And I feel like
plays, because they have to speak it.
Right. I've always felt like plays are more about the actors, and then film is more about the editor,
more about
director.
the directing. Yeah,
and
definitely,
and so
100%.
obviously that's why I like one more than the other, because I like being in control. And so like with film, I get to control where the audience looks. I get to show them what's important. Like with the play, you have to almost just motion, be like, hey, look over there, like put a spotlight on, or have a character point, or draw them with sound. But ultimately, something could be going on in a certain spot on the stage, and the audience might not look at it. And I don't really like the audience having that kind of control.
Well, I think
I've never directed a play, though.
To get the best experience out of a play, you need to just look at the whole stage, because it's more interesting to watch the actors who aren't speaking than it is to watch the ones that are speaking, because how are they reacting? They're creating the world that the play is based in. So that's for me. I'm more curious to watch people who aren't speaking than who are speaking, because who cares what you're saying.
Shayne, how many plays have you been in? Or how many plays have you been in, and how many plays? Or if it's an easier question, how many plays have you been like? Have you been the lead in very many plays? I don't actually know. Okay, how many plays have you been a lead? Like big plays, maybe not. Yeah, like have you been the star, the lead role, or I guess I know you've been a lead role, but have you ever been like the center star?
I've ever been like the main like star.
Yeah, I don't even know if the lead.
Like the character.
You would be the center of the stage when you go to battle.
Have I been Hamlet?
Yes.
I have not been Hamlet, but
okay.
I don't think I've ever been not like in a big play,
right?
At least like a full length play. I've never been the lead.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a lot of pressure, a lot of lines, a lot of things.
Yeah,
to remember.
I mean, I would love it though. There's many shows, especially in high school, that I would have liked to have been that character, but I don't think I have. Not that I can recall, at least. In a big play. I've been in smaller plays, I have. But.
Do you have a play that's been notable as one of your favorites that you've done?
That I've acted in?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, unless you have more fun directing a play or something.
Yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot more fun directing than acting.
Interesting.
But I think the play I've had the most fun in was Charlotte's Web. I played Homer Zuckerman, the uncle, Fern, the girl's uncle, and that was a pretty big part. And I was, not to toot my own horn, the funniest person in that show.
Nice.
And then also when we did the musical Into the Woods, that was my senior production in high school. I really liked that one. But probably the most fun I've had in a show was, a couple. One is when I directed Hairspray at my high school, my senior year. That was great. Stressful, but great. And then, I don't know if you saw this play, Luke, but at TCC when we did the Mayflies, we were like the little flies and stuff. We did a bunch of short plays, and then
I saw. Let me think. I saw Hamlet. I think was one of the ones that was done.
Yeah,
in the
you did
park.
see Hamlet.
And then I saw. Oh, the anthology one.
Oh, bless your soul.
yeah, I know.
I hate
it. It was fine, but it's a boring play.
No, it wasn't, Luke. It was not. But and you see, we didn't even do the play though. That's what made me mad.
Okay, so what? Oh, is it different? Because here's what I saw. Do you know anything about this play, John?
Version, but
because all they did was like, I mean, it wasn't bad. It just was not that interesting to me. because you
It
just had a
wasn't
bunch of
interesting.
actors standing on stage, and the spotlight would go
Not
on
even
different
standing,
ones.
sitting, and we couldn't move, we couldn't do anything.
There was no chemistry between actors because it was just monologues.
It's just monologues, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like,
But that's
what?
not how the play is. The play, there is dialogue between characters, but we didn't do the play. Mr. J just picked out a bunch of monologues from it and had us do those. So it wasn't really structured or anything. Which
Is it a really long play or something like that?
I don't know for sure. Well, no,
Okay.
it started off as a collection of monologues. Someone turned that into a play that has music and stuff as well. But we didn't do that. We just did
The monologues.
That sounds
Right.
incredibly boring.
it was. And fun fact, that was my second time doing Spoon River. Every school that I've went to, I've done Spoon River. I did Spoon River in high school, I did Spoon River at TCC, and I did Spoon River at NYCDA. And I said, kill me.
Here's
This
the
play
thing.
is following me everywhere I go.
Here's why I don't like that play, because to me it just seems like the choreography of it is too basic. It's just everybody just needs to remember the order and then just memorize your lines and then go.
Oh, that was just Mr. J's kind of directing style, which I wasn't really ever too fond of.
Not a fan of it. Yeah, that was kind of an interesting.
No, it was just very, I don't want to say lackluster, but it was very, I don't know, it was just very like, we could have done more, you know?
Yeah. I know that
But he wanted to be minimal, like purposely. I'm like, but for what?
sorry, we
The
want to
play
be
is boring.
unimpressive.
We need some. Yeah, the play is boring. Keep it real. The play is boring. We need to do something that's gonna make it more exciting.
Yeah, like
That's why I was glad that we did add some songs in.
Because so with these film contests that I've done with people, the last couple ones, they haven't been great experiences because they're, like I mentioned before, they're just stressful, and if you have people that work differently, it's a lot of
They're
clashing of
stressful.
characters, but it's interesting because as soon as one of the first things everybody said at the beginning of the project, they were like, "All right, we all agree." No guns in the movie. And the first thing I thought was like, oh man, I love guns. I love like, it sounds so bad, but I just like movies with violence and thrillers and knives and guns and people being afraid and running, and it's just, so it ruined it for me because it's like, oh man, no guns. Every single movie I've made since I was 12 has a gun in it, for the most part. People shooting each other. I think
shooting each other.
well, yeah, it's just fun. You get to do all these sound effects with the guns. It's like, I don't know, it's just fun. It's just interesting. Every movie I've ever done always has a gun in it somewhere, and then somebody getting shot. And so, if I ever
That's
did,
true. That is true. You do have
just-
a lot of this.
I know. Everyone's always killing each other. Anyway, Shayne, I want to hear. I'm imagining like this amazingly good story that's about to come from you about the saga of Shayne and his missing keys. I'm sure it's a great story. I'd love to hear the end of it.
It's not. I mean, I told you guys in the group chat. But
Yeah,
I'll say it on the.
I'm being totally
Yeah.
sarcastic, and I'm only asking because I want you to repeat it for everybody who's listening.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna.
Get a clue,
mention it.
Shane.
No, I got the clue. He didn't have to do it like that.
I can do
All right, so
whatever I want.
you can. That's true. You can, and you go ahead and do it. But so last week, I kind of went off about my keys, and I was going off about parents and kids.
And the kid
So
said he was going to kill
Yeah. So
for stealing the
turns
keys.
Turns out, no kid stole my keys. Actually, no one stole my keys. So even though I searched the entire office for about, 40 to 50 minutes, they were in the one spot I didn't look, which was in this tiny crevice in the seat at the desk, which I didn't even know existed, for one.
Shayne stole his own keys.
No, someone had knocked them off of the desk onto the chair. I don't know who it was. So whoever that person was, I'm coming for you.
So someone still got it coming.
Yeah. Thankfully it happened before I got there. One of the people that I work with called me and told me they found them. And I was like, dang it, I really wanted to go in there and intimidate some kids. Like stare them all down.
You just have them all sit down.
Yeah, make them
and then
sweat.
you
No, I'll bring them in one by one.
You just circle around them like a bull.
Yeah.
Just looking each one of them in the eyes just to see.
Where are my keys?
Just walk around, don't say anything.
Like, you have keys?
My keys are missing, guys. Take another loop all the way around.
That's what I do. That works too. If you don't say anything, they will. I did that today. I circled around them in the circle, and I got really quiet. And I'm like, oh, I'm just walking around, guys. Like, but hey, if this intimidation works, I'm gonna keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
yeah. Most of them definitely respect me after I started yelling at them a lot.
After you kick them around a little bit.
Yes. Somebody was telling me that
I could slap them. Man.
In terms of sales and marketing and trying to get people to when you're trying to sell something, basically sales. One of the techniques that's really important and that I've actually taken and I think I've used before in certain areas is he who speaks first loses, which means you make your point and then you don't say anything. Because a lot of times people, especially in debates or arguments, they'll rapid fire 10 different points at somebody, and then the only thing somebody has to do to deflect the argument back to you is question or counter one of those 10 arguments. So like, it's almost like you're in a ping pong match where it's like, all right, there's my argument. You hit the ping pong ball towards them, and then they either have to hit that ping pong ball back, or you win. So you just hit it over there and you just wait for them to hit it back. Because they can dance with the ball, they can make excuses, whatever, but you just wait until they hit it back. But when you shoot them with a whole bunch, it's like hitting a whole bunch of ping pong balls at them, and all they have to do is hit one, and then you're scrambling for a ball. And I think that's kind of what you do to these kids. You just stonewall them, just ask them one question, and just wait till someone cracks.
I do usually. I'll keep, I don't do that because I'll ask a question and they'll try to deflect it or do something else, and I'll keep asking the same question. I'm like, we're not going anywhere until I answer my question, because I don't care what you have to say. I just want you to answer my question so I can prove my point, and then I can walk away. So answer my question. Yeah, answer my question. That's what I say. Answer my question. Oh, but I need to answer my question.
Yeah. It's like holding them against the glass window. Answer the question. I think that like...
And if they don't have an answer, I just dismiss them. I'm like, okay, go away, please.
I'm done with you.
I'm not talking to you. Yeah, I'm not talking to you.
I know there has been a lot of situations before where I'm trying to, whether it's an argument or a debate or whatever, but it is that kind of get your point, figure out what it is, and then stick to that point, and don't let it kind of veer off, because that's what people will do. Is they'll kind of, like I remember once I was talking to somebody
because they'll feel intimidated. Yeah.
So here's a story. But this was back when I was in LA, and I was hanging out with a group of people that I didn't know real well, and they wanted us to play that game Munchkins. Have you guys ever heard of it?
Never heard of it. Nope.
No, I have no idea.
Really?
Munchkins?
Surprise. Yeah.
What kind of game?
The only Munchkins I know are short people.
So, the way the game works, it's actually kind of my least favorite type of board game or card game, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, so it's a board game?
Yeah. So it's one of those games where you win by remembering all the rules. And I hate those games. It's too much. I just hate. It's like I have to remember so much stuff all the time. I don't want to do it for fun. You know, I want to have
Luke.
Yeah, really.
I don't want to do it for fun.
I don't. It's like I want one goal, like Spoons. You know the game Spoons?
No.
Yes.
Yes, you do, John.
You know
what
Spoons,
is it?
John.
Maybe if you describe it. I don't know.
It's when you put the 6 spoons in the center, and then you all have I think you have, how many cards do you have? 3 or 4 cards in your hand, and you pick up a card from the deck, and then you discard a card, whatever card you want to discard out of your hand, to the next person, and it kind of goes like you keep picking up cards, and everyone's shuffling cards around, and once you get like a hand or 4 of a kind or whatever it is, you can pick up a spoon. You can pick up the spoon loud, you can pick it up and be real sneaky, but as soon as one person touches the spoon, anybody can grab a spoon.
It's game on.
But there's the number of people in the circle -1 for the spoon, so someone gets out every round.
Yeah.
But it's very simple, and I'm really good at it because it's one thing. Really? It's one thing, and
it's pretty fun.
That's what I like. So like with this Munchkin game, it's like you get cards and you have armor and you have a class, and then if you land on a certain square, it's like this square will take away 2 points unless you have the magic so-and-so whatever card, but that only cancels it if you're not a Munchkin. But if you're a human, then you can actually take a card from someone else, but only if they have this. And it's like,
That sounds pretty cool.
Oh, I hate it.
That sounds like Magic the Gathering. Right?
Yeah,
it complicated rules.
I just don't like there's these people that get so into it, and then they get all amped because they remember all the rules, and I don't like it. So anyway, we're playing this game. Like I said, not really my favorite type of game, but I know a lot of people that really like this game. And it was like me and probably 3 guys and 2 girls or whatever, and we're playing. And I get it. People aren't enjoying the game, right? However, this guy who brought the game for us to play invited us all to his house with drinks and food and was like, hey, I played this game back at my home, and we had a really great time playing it. I'd like to share it with you guys. It was really fun. So we're sitting there playing, and I'm trying to be as interested as I can because I really don't enjoy it that much, but I'm trying to play well. I'm trying to be a good sport because he's having us over for a game, right?
Yeah.
So while this is going on, the 2 girls and even one of the guys were like giving him such a hard time, and it's like they were like, "Wow, way to pick this is a really fun game, man. Nice, way to go. This is the best game you could go." Like being kind of dicks about it, and it's like he invited you to his house to play a game, and you didn't have a game, so you don't get to like criticize the one person who came up with something for us to do. And if you make him feel bad,
you shouldn't criticize the person, but you can criticize the game.
Yeah, well, they were kind of like, wow, dude, wow, nice. This is really stupid.
Yeah.
Why are you doing? Why'd you make us play this game? You know, and so the whole point is that
he didn't make
you make him feel stupid and embarrassed for making you play a bad game. He's not going to do this again. He's not going to invite people over to play the game again or any game because you made him feel bad about it, right? So you can tell him, don't really enjoy the game, but don't be a jerk about it. You know, don't make him feel stupid for inviting you over to play a game at his house. You know, so
or you could just learn the rules.
Yeah. So
anyway.
No,
I mean you can, but if you don't enjoy the game, you just don't enjoy the game.
Yeah, but
like,
just
don't.
Nothing
you can really do about.
You can literally say I'm just not really enjoying this, but don't be like.
Let's not be friends anymore.
I want you to feel bad for inviting me to play a game
this
that
was
you
bad.
had a lot of fun with.
Yeah, that's like when I used to play D&D a lot with like my best friend and his family, and then it got to one point where I was like, I just don't really like this game. Like, not that I don't like it, it's not what I thought it.
To me,
so
it's like if someone.
So like, that's what I just told him. I just don't enjoy the game.
Right, which is fine, but it's like it would be like somebody inviting you to their house to have dinner, and you're like, "Wow, this food kind of sucks. I don't like this food at all." That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
and so so the girls were giving them like
the same thing.
They were giving him this real hard time, and then he like left the room.
I wouldn't say that's a comparable thing, Luke.
Why?
Because when someone invites you over for dinner, that's them preparing the food, taking the time, serving it, inviting you into their home table with their family. You getting invited over to play a random game that you bought.
Why is it
Target.
Table? Dude, food has a table.
No, some people don't eat at tables. I don't know.
What, Shane? So the point is that like
some people don't eat at tables.
Well, I don't know what that has to do with it. It's like, all right, what's the difference between
people
eating and a board game?
I'm just saying, a board game is not as personal.
Chairs.
I'm just saying a board game is not as personal as someone making dinner. So I don't think the offense level is the same.
I will admit that it's maybe a little bit more because you're actually making the meal. But what if you ordered a pizza? Like, oh, come over and have a pizza and a beer and we'll watch a game. And then all they did is complain about that you didn't get them right pizza when they didn't have an opinion.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The whole point is I just don't
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, well, I'll eat the pizza.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy myself. If you're not enjoying yourself, that's your problem.
Right. So he left the room. Gosh, now you're gonna make me feel like I overreacted, but I don't think I did. So, basically,
no. I mean, no.
He left the room, and I kind of told them. I kind of leaned over the table and was like, "Hey guys, come on, stop giving him such a hard time." And they're like, "Yeah, but the game's not that good." And I said,
"Then hate on the game. Don't hate on him."
But he invited us to his house. He really thought we were gonna like this game, and now you're being a total killjoy about it. You're making him feel dumb, and he's never gonna invite us over again. Be a little courteous. Yeah. You can dog on him a little bit, but come on,
don't dog on him.
Stop being a rain cloud. So I said that, and basically said, you guys stop doing this. Be sensitive to him, and then they tried to flip it, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know. I feel like you're kind of being a little judgmental and attacking me a little bit." And then I literally said this. I was like, why are you making this about you? This isn't about you. This is about him. I was like, you're being a jerk to him. Don't make this about you. We're not talking about you. I literally said that, and then maybe I shouldn't have. But I mean,
I always say
flip it around, make it about yourself.
Yeah, I always say don't complain about something unless you have another idea.
Well, yeah. If someone steps out,
I don't want to hear that you hate this game unless you have another suggestion. Because as of right now, this is the only thing that we're doing. So suck it up or come up with something better.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if I don't know. It doesn't bother me that much, but it is to the point where I'm like, be a little courteous if someone invites you to do something.
Rude. Yeah, no, it is.
And that's all I was trying to say. But the reason I brought up that story was because here I am like telling them, hey, can you be sensitive to this guy? And they somehow flipped it into like, well, what about the way I feel?
Stop attacking me. What the fuck, man?
Yeah,
this is not your event. Who cares how you feel?
Yeah, that's right. It comes back. That's right. I don't know.
It's not your house. It's not your game. Who cares how you feel? If you want to feel some way, go home and feel that way.
Yeah, they were total killjoys about it too, though. They're just dragging their feet the whole time. Weren't even trying.
LA people. Such snobs.
Losers. So, anyway, that happened. But I stuck it to him. Stuck it to the man.
Good. Do it. You did the right thing.
Yeah, maybe. It was a weird situation.
I would have told them to like shut up and just been mean about it.
It was a weird situation too. It was like I was totally out of sync with most of those people, where they're saying something and I'm hearing something else, and then I'm saying something and they're hearing something else. It's just total. I don't know what you do in that type of situation. But
you do nothing. You just stop talking. Go on the internet.
Just move away.
Just like slowly walk away.
I mean, I did.
Well,
I left. I was like, I'm leaving this whole city. Bye.
Yeah, where it looks like I'm done. Y'all are too mean. That's funny.
I talked to another guy too this week who he was an Uber driver, and when you get into an Uber, they're supposed to ask you what your name is to make sure that they didn't pick up the wrong guy and take him off. So they're like, Luke? And I was like, yep. And then he did the old, like, I've never heard it before. I am your father. And, then we started talking
I can't believe I've never said that to you.
Well, I mean...
Oh, wow. That's never crossed my mind. Wow.
Are you... What?
I'm saying this all the time now. Oh, man.
Yeah, let me tell you what. My whole life, I never heard that one. Never.
Really? I've never even thought about that.
I heard it all my whole childhood.
I bet you have.
Said that.
I bet you have.
I am your father.
That's not true. That's impossible.
Actually, I have a question, Luke, about Ubers that maybe you could answer, because one of the people that I work with, they were talking about Ubers in LA and how they have really fancy Ubers that are like fancy cars. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have when you open Uber, there's a couple different options. There's like Uber Pool, where you like it's a little cheaper and you get into the car and then they'll drive you to your destination. However, if someone else is close to you,
carpooling.
yeah, so they might pick someone up and drop them off too. So there's that. Then there's Uber X, which is just like the regular one where they pick you up and drive you to where you need to go. Then there's Uber.
No, I mean like the style of car.
Yeah,
Depends on the driver,
there
right?
is, because then there's Uber Deluxe, I think, which is larger cars, so you can fit like 6 people in it instead of just like 2.
Already.
And then or 4, and then there's Uber Black, where you need to have a black car, and it needs to be a nice car like a Mercedes or like a BMW or something like that.
You have to have a black card.
I think the car needs to be black. Yeah.
Oh, that you have to have a black card. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not exclusive for that.
Yeah, it's like
Is it some security thing or
no, it's just fancy.
privacy?
It's really,
I guess.
it's really expensive. It's probably 10 times
fancy
as much
people.
as a regular Uber.
It's just so you can look fancy.
Yeah, and
That's all it is.
they're all about that in LA, you know.
So you
But
can,
it's like
pretty bougie.
it's literally like 10 times
Pretty
the price. So
bougie.
instead of like a $5 Uber ride, it's gonna be like $50. So I'm not about that life.
Yeah,
Speaking of card, apparently there are credit
Oh.
cards that you can get that are made of
I
gold.
thought you were just gonna stop at credit card.
Apparently, there's
Apparently,
this thing
guys,
called
Oh,
credit
totally-
cards.
thing
totally
called
ruined the-
credit cards.
There's these things you can get. They're called money.
Credit cards.
Yeah,
How do
they-
I find this thing called?
they're credit cards, but they're made out of gold, so they're like really heavy. And
Why?
I kind of want one, just because I want to hold
Why?
it and I want to feel how heavy it is.
No, but why would they make a credit card out of gold?
Because then it retains value. I don't know. I just heard about
That's
it.
But it's a
dumb.
credit card. It has no value.
Well, if it's made out of gold, it does.
like
So
I just thought about you just sell your credit card. You're like, oh, I'm running
Yeah,
out
you're
of
gonna
money. Oh, my bank account's
that
almost
doesn't
empty.
make sense.
Guess I gotta sell my credit card.
Yeah, that
I don't
doesn't
know.
make any sense.
It just would be cool to have like a card that's like really heavy because people hold it and they're like, whoa. This
yeah,
is
get
so
the Amazon
heavy.
credit card.
Well,
Do you
Luke,
guys
why
have the
would you
Amazon
let someone
credit card?
hold it? They're
It's
gonna
metal.
steal it.
They'll run off with it. Be like, yeah, here's my
I only
gold
have
card.
2 credit cards. I got a
would
regular
suck
credit card.
If you like
Best
lost your
Buy.
wallet too, because then you just got
Oh,
a
yeah.
gold plated.
Your wallet
thing.
probably wouldn't even fit in like your pants.
Do you have
Weigh you
the
down?
Do you have the Amazon card, John?
Yep.
I don't.
Is it cool?
You buy things from Amazon Prime, you should get the Amazon credit card because it's 5% cash back.
Yeah, but I don't like having multiple credit cards.
Me neither, but I do.
Me either, but I do.
I think it's just kind of like a fact of life thing, right? Eventually, you're gonna have a bunch of credit cards.
That's not true.
I mean,
I know many. I
And
know
by
many
bunch,
people
I
who've
mean
never had a
3,
credit card.
at 3 plus, because I only have
like-
4.
it's like, dude, you're gonna by the time you get to a certain age, you're gonna have 100 credit cards, and by 100 I mean 3. It's fine.
I mean, I think it's good to have a credit card.
I have a credit card, but I don't
Yeah,
have.
you should
than
at
one.
least have one. I have 2.
I think you should have at
Technically.
least 2.
Why would I need to? Because then you can get the Discovery
A backup?
card.
A
I have a-
backup? Why
I
are
have
you
a
spending
deb-
so
I have
much
a-
money?
I have a debit card, and
All right. Well,
and,
I
We
mean,
have actual money for that.
say you're overdrawing and your debit card fails, or you don't know your PIN number anymore. You forget it.
Then you shouldn't be buying stuff.
I get hit in the
You
head
shouldn't
and
be
I
buying
can't remember
anything.
it. I end up
mean-
like the Memento guy and I forget my PIN every time I type it.
I
in.
don't know what to tell you. I can think of examples that would be,
I'm just teasing. I mean,
Some
Yeah,
people need to
emergency
learn how to live a
situations.
poor
yeah,
life.
yeah. I mean, there could be a reason to have it, I suppose. I just don't
No.
like worrying about multiple things to pay, and I
Plus,
just
you
don't-
need to build credit because, like, you want to take out a loan on a house. You're gonna
yeah,
need good
or
credit.
especially if you have that.
If all you use is a debit card, you're not gonna have good credit.
What was that one company that recently got in trouble? For
That was a
because everything got
government-owned company.
Yeah, what was it though? It leaked everything, all the social security
Shoot,
numbers.
Oh.
I can't remember the name. It started with an E.
I didn't have it, so I didn't need to worry about it. But I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever checked your credit score, then you have it.
Oh, wait, what's it called? Credit score typing it in now. Equifax.
Yeah, that's
who
it.
was. That's who it was. Those losers. Way to go, guys. Way to have security. That's the scary part about being like a
Way to
programmer.
go, guys.
Is like that side of it.
can
The
do
fact that you could,
anything.
if a programmer that's in charge of security messes up their job, they can like sink a company. Not that the company's going to sink, but I bet its stock went way down. I'm gonna look.
Probably.
I'm gonna look at what its stock did. How that turned out. Oh man. Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. That's not exciting. Oh, that's not even.
You know what is exciting?
I wanted to watch it go. Floomp. Oh, yep, it did. It just drops like in a.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it?
So like between August 3rd to September 7th, it's just a straight line, and then it just goes. Floomp. It just tanks like over the next 3 days. It drops. Like 70 points, 50
to, like,
points.
get us out of this mess.
Yeah, it's at 140, and it drops from 142 to 192.
Wow.
That's insane. Not that I know anything about stock because I just
I don't.
But I can look at a line, and the line just drops. That's all I need to know. It looks like it's a bad thing. It's like when people look at graphs, and they're like, "Well, the graph goes up, so that's good." And it's like
Graph goes up, graph goes down. Stuck.
What else did I want to mention today? Let me look at my.
We
notes.
wanted to mention.
Oh,
I mean,
the guy who was driving my. The guy who was driving
who cares about that?
He legally changed his name. He told me that. Like he
Oh.
actually went in and legally did it.
Wait, what?
Cause like he was talking about my name, Luke, and then he was like, "Oh, or you could, talk about my name, which is like Luthian or something. I don't remember what it was. Some different name."
He's like,
And-
it's weird, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what he said. He basically kind of brought it up and was like, "Yeah, once I got divorced, I just decided to change my name."
Oh,
Whoa.
nice to know.
He
man.
was like,
Thanks.
I guess like it was because they hyphenated their last names, and then when they got divorced, he wanted to change it.
But that's not
And so
anyone
he-
else's business besides yours.
I know. I was just like,
Like,
I'm just in your Uber. It was fine. It wasn't
Like,
really
I
a big
don't
deal or
care,
anything.
dude.
I just thought it was
Yeah.
interesting because he said it wasn't that hard,
that's
and I've
like-
never
that's like
thought
one of
about
the-
changing my name ever. Never thought about it.
Do you
Yeah.
want to?
Well, I have.
No.
That's,
What would you change it to?
I think my name is pretty cool.
your name is great, Luke.
Yeah, I think it's a good name. Would you ever
Means-
change your name, Shane, or John, for that matter?
No.
Well,
You said you
Ooh,
thought
well.
about it. Oh.
I can't say the reason why on the podcast. Well, I could. What?
Because you said your last name on the podcast.
No, he said his
No,
last
I
name.
don't
He
care
says
about.
it in
I
his
don't
Twitter.
care about that. Yeah, I'm on the internet.
It's,
I don't
it's
care,
just it's
whatever.
just a joke, guys.
But But anyways, that just a quick side note. That Uber driver telling you about like his last name reminded me of this one parent at the school I work at.
Oh,
who
his
told me I
first
called
name. It
him-
was his first name, by the way, not his last name.
Oh well, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Like the parent was like, because apparently these two parents are going through some type of divorce. So the girl's with the dad 1 week, and then she's with the mom another week. The parents don't communicate, so they try to communicate through us. And I'm like, don't get me involved in your.
Oh man,
drama,
you tell
please.
her mother. I said.
Yeah,
That's such a bad situation to be in.
I know. So
You
one
mess it up.
time-
You mess it up, and then they both come at you like, "You didn't deliver the message right. I told you." I said, bad situation. Really bad.
And I would say, sir, I don't know what you're talking about. But so one time he couldn't pick her up because his brother was gonna pick her up or something, but his brother wasn't on the approved pickup list, so he didn't answer his phone. So I had to call the mom because I'm like, well, the girl needs to go home somewhere. So I called the mom, and she said, okay, I'll come get her. Then the dad called me back, and he's like, oh no, you shouldn't have called her. And I was like, well, you didn't answer the phone, dude. Like, what do you want me to do? And then I called the mom back and said, hey, he's coming. Don't worry about it. She wasn't too mad because she hadn't left the house yet. But when I talked to the dad again, he was like, oh, thanks for doing that. You don't understand. I have 2 baby mamas, and it's just so,
Oh man.
they're, he's like, women are crazy. I'm like, we're not friends. Like, I don't need to know about your life. Like, I don't need to know that.
It's like, don't confide in me. I don't know.
And
you.
that's not something to be proud of. Like, he said it like he was proud. That's not something to be proud of.
I have multiple ex-wives. You know? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I've never had an
Nope.
ex-wife before.
I don't. I don't have baby mamas. I'm sorry.
That's actually happens at work a lot. People talk about like having kids and like they're like, you know, no, not really.
Like, nope.
I don't know what it's
Well,
like with kids.
I kind of do know, but
I can imagine. I can imagine losing sleep because
can
some
only
little
imagine.
monster is keeping me awake. But you know,
I can imagine spending long nights at the office. Sorry, I'm busy on a project.
stay away from.
oh
the
yeah,
kids.
yeah. I'm gonna be coming home late again. You know, just gotta crunch these numbers. Like what numbers? 1, 2, 3.
That's funny. I had someone who used to make that joke. He's like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna go to my counting class. 1, 2." It's like, shut up, man.
Yes, like stop.
I took the personality test, and it said that apparently I should be a like a personal accountant, apparently, or a counselor. According
like a student
to
counselor?
Myers-Briggs science law.
Oh, I should
That's
have
what I
looked
should
what
be.
mine said. I didn't look at my careers.
Yeah, there's a
I didn't do that either.
I read the whole thing because it was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, I read most of it.
But it's
and I
like there
agree
was
with 100% of it.
there was like a workplace section and then like a career section or something like that.
I'm sure you could just look it up.
Yeah, I mean I like this site because it just did a good job of kind of putting it into words.
It's very detailed. Yeah,
Computer programmer. What do you know?
it has a nice layout.
Hey! Go figure. I guess you're in the right career. I guess you don't need to be a baker now. Sorry, too soon.
Had to bring that back up.
It's literally been like a year.
No, he brought it up. He brought it up
It's
last
like-
week.
It's literally been like a
Listen to
year,
it.
and it's like too soon. Sorry.
It wasn't on the podcast. It was after.
Yeah.
He told us about your baking
I-
prophecy.
Did I tell you? Oh, I guess because Brent was here and we're talking about it.
Yeah, we talked about it post
Um,
podcast.
So I wrote down a note here. It was something I just thought about.
Well, I have a question. I don't care about your note, Luke. I just want to know, just curious, just because it just.
Why do you have to be so rude, Shane? It's fine. It's fine.
Well, no, I'm just curious because it's kind of like a relevant thing that just happened. Did you guys do anything for Halloween? Did you dress up? Did you go out, party, stay home,
John
pass out
did.
candy?
I saw your
Oh,
costume.
John, what did you do?
Your costume, John.
My girlfriend had like a Halloween mini party for her and her neighbors.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, I went to that. My costume was just a shirt that said 404, costume not found. Some guy
Fair
wore
enough.
a Tigger costume. We ate dinner. A couple got angry at each other, and
Oh,
it was very awkward.
were they?
They're-
Was there drinking or something? Were they drunk?
Yeah, there was alcohol.
Were they drunk?
No,
but
I'm just saying like
so-
couples. I mean, couples fight in front of people, but usually.
Well, they're not
it's when-
married.
Yeah.
They're just They're I'm not even sure if they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but they have a child together. They live together, and we're just sitting around, and then she's like, "Tell them your nickname when you were a child," and he's like, "Don't do that, don't do that." And then she tells it, and it's Bam Bam. Surprise. Anyways,
Yeah,
he's like,
okay,
and tell them your nickname in
90% of
high school,
kids.
and he's like, "Stop it."
What? It's so like not a big deal.
Yeah,
That dude has issues.
That's kind of weird.
that's funny.
That I wonder why that was such a big deal to him. He's got like sensitive like a background with that whole name, I guess. So
Apparently, maybe.
I did dress up because we were all going to go out on Friday, but I kind of
Mm-hmm.
made minimal effort. Actually, I was still kind of proud of what I did. So what I really wanted to do, but I put no effort into it, was be a referee because
Mm-hmm.
I thought it'd be funny if
Blow a whistle in everybody's face.
Well, no,
All
it's
you need
like
is a whistle.
somebody. Well, I didn't even really care about the whistle. What I wanted to do is like if
the best
somebody. No, hold up. No, it's not. Here's the best part. So somebody could spill a drink, or someone would say something that I didn't agree with, or people would start dancing weird, or they're not dancing well, whatever, and people laughing. And what you would do is you'd run up and you'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and start doing the signs, and then all of a sudden you just red card them.
Wow.
That's it. You're out of here.
Yeah, I know. It'd just be like you just run
wow.
up to him and you're like, everyone's looking at you and you're like,
Get
waving your
on
hands
the
like
bench.
you're like waving your hands like, no, doesn't count. And then they're like, what are you doing? And then you look at them with really crazy eyes for like 2 seconds, whip out that red card and be like, out of here. It'd be such a good conversation starter.
That's fine.
But I didn't do that. But I just took credit for it. But what I ended up doing was taking too much time and not going to the store to buy any costumes because I just don't care enough for that. I'm not really a huge Halloween person. I'm more of a Thanksgiving person because Thanksgiving I don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did for my costume
Hungry.
is I have a blue sweatshirt that almost looks exactly like the Star Trek sweatshirts. And then I took an old like Safeway credit card type thing that wasn't really used for anything, and I cut it into the shape of the little Enterprise logo.
So you'd be a medical officer if you were in Star Trek?
Well, I
That
would
you're telling me?
survive. That's the point. I'm not a red shirt. So like I was, and I thought about like, I don't know, doing something where anytime someone takes a picture of me, I just do the symbol, but not the live long and prosper symbol. I'll do like the Hunger Games symbol or something. Just something stupid. Just be like, is this it? Is this what they do? Is this right?
Star Trek's for nerds, right?
That's right. Yeah. I'm such a nerd, see? People like that, man. So, it's fine. I love science. I'm a nerd, see? Shut up. So that's what I did. What about you, Shane? Did you dress up
Would
as
you
anything?
dress up as Shane?
Yeah, so I actually went to 2 Halloween parties on Saturday.
Ooh.
No, not ooh. So the first party, one of my friends had invited me to, and I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to do something for Halloween. This is exciting. Like, let's do it. You know, party. I've never done this before. So I invite one of my friends to come with me. So we get to this party. No one's there. It's very like, well, my friend is outside. My friend is outside, and she's drunk, and she's like, she's like, this is awkward. I said, what? There's a very awkward amount of people here where it's like no one's really doing anything, but there's music playing, and there's a movie on.
Is
I'm like,
awkward amount of people? Is that not very many people?
yes.
Okay. Oh, dude.
So
I'm just to interject real quick.
yeah.
I'm actually really good to have at those types of parties. Not because I'm
You
not
just
like
talk.
I'm not. There's a lot of things I'm not really good at. Like I'm not really good at going to really loud clubs or really loud bars because I don't really know what to do. But house parties with just like a couple people, it kind of depends on the people. But if I can get going with people, I get really kind of excited and I kind of jump around and talk to people, and
Yeah.
that is one thing I think I'm pretty good at. Which so I wish I could have come. Oh well. It's fine.
Well, man, Luke, if you were on the East Coast, maybe I would have invited you. But actually, no. But actually, so me and my friend, we got into the party. It really is as awkward as, like, there's 3 girls.
The foreshadowing was right. She was correct.
Yeah, no, she was correct. Yeah, there's 3 girls on the couch. They were all on their phone the whole time. Like the whole time.
Man.
And then some people came in afterwards, but then they went into the like kitchen. But the person whose house it was like their parents' house. So, like their parents and their parents' friends were there. I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like, no
What?
offense.
That's so
This is
weird.
kind of weird. Not
No,
weird,
it's
but
odd.
Their
It's
parents
odd
were cool. Their
because
parents are very cool, but
I'm not one where I'm like, all right, there's no parents, trash the place. But it's kind of like, it's just odd to be kind of like. I feel like we're not
question everyone's
adults
age.
when we have
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
we have a
people.
bunch of us here, but then one of you has your
There were
parents
little
here.
kids
It's just
too.
like it's
But there
like
were
this
little
isn't-
kids there too.
It feels
weird.
Oh, that's weird. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
if I was like there, those girls on their cell phones, just take a bucket of water and just sweep each phone. Just run by them and just sweep each phone one at a time. Just knock one phone into the bucket of water. Knock the
Just
second
blow a
phone.
whistle while you're doing it.
That would make you
Right,
pretty popular
and then
at that
and then
party.
as soon as you ruin, you red card them.
When they start complaining, red card.
Oh, it's funny.
You ruin their phone and you red card them.
So it was just kind of an awkward party, I guess.
Yeah. So me and my friend, I'm like looking around at the house because I'm like, well, I mean, my friend invited me, so I feel like we should stay a little bit, but
Feel obligated.
let's be honest, this is weird. Like, nothing's really happening. The movie on's not even good. They're playing some boring, like, movie where you have to actually watch it because it's one of those kind of films.
I don't really like it when people.
The movie.
I don't like it when people put movies on at parties.
Well, they had a movie.
I just don't like that,
and
really.
music on at the same time. Like, no, it's one or the other. Like, don't have both.
I'm not even
That's
a big
too
fan
much.
of music either. Like, I like some music, but sometimes I'm kind of indifferent
What parties
about
do
having
you go
music
to,
or not.
Luke, if you don't have music?
I don't like it when people are like,
You go to
"Oh,
social
there's,"
gatherings?
they're like, "Oh, there's silence. Turn the music as loud as it'll go to." It ruins
Oh yeah,
my.
I hate that when they turn music up too loud. It's like
Because then you
can't hear
just
anybody.
kind of
Oh, yeah.
play the what conversation,
yeah.
and I don't like that. I like some of it where it's like, okay, this is loud enough that if people stop talking, it's not like crickets.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't like, oh, this is our mini club, and then they crank it up, and then they make the neighbors mad, and then they get pissed off and like, oh, the neighbors said we should turn it down. It's only 1 a.m. Like, yeah, it's 1 a.m. It's okay for the neighbors to be mad at you blasting music. One guy, I was at a party once, and people were like banging on a drum, and then the neighbors complained, and I was like, well, what did you think was gonna happen? They're just hitting it, morons.
What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah.
Second party. Shane?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not done with the first party. So,
Oh.
Man.
so me and my friend, so we go outside because my friend is gonna call his other friend because his friend was having a party, and then he was like, but there's also this rave that we could go to. So I'm like, I don't really care, to be honest, which one. So while we're outside, he's on the phone, and he goes around the corner, and I'm just standing there, looking at my costume. Oh, my costume for that day at least was, because the theme of the party was end of the world, so I kind of just went as a end of the world, post-apocalyptic zombie slayer. People said I was Black Deadpool, so I said whatever, I'll take it.
Oh damn.
Whatever, I'll take it.
Sorry.
And so once I was out there, these people came out.
No,
that
when
my
people
friend
ask you,
introduced.
when people are like, "Are you this character?" It's usually just like, "Yeah." That's who I
Yeah,
am.
the people ask me, they're like, "Are you supposed to be like Black Deadpool?" I said, "Let's go with that." Yep, I sure am.
100%.
I know what I'm supposed to
Nailed
be.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So we're outside, and these people come out, and long story short, we end up having a nice, really long conversation with them about religion and depression and all this other stuff that my friend was just opening up about. And I was like,
really good party topics.
Yeah, but it wasn't
kidding.
like
There's
what
really
I was
nothing wrong.
expecting.
I don't
No,
mind.
It wasn't what I was expecting.
It's just
but
funny
it
to have
was
a
definitely a nice
Happy
conversation.
Halloween. Let's
Yeah.
talk about suicide. You know, just
Existential
Yeah,
crisis time.
Yeah, it was a nice conversation, and they're really great people, and so I'm glad that happened. But then I was like, okay, I still want to go to like a party, right? So
kinda- right.
so we go to the other party.
You're already crying.
No,
We're not.
so we're
That's
driving, but my friend
Black Deadpool does not cry.
Yeah, my friend the whole night was like, dang it, you know what? Whatever, I don't care. So the whole night, my friend was like, ugh. Because I'm about to talk about something I said I wasn't gonna talk about on the podcast, but I don't care. It's a part of the story. So
Well, I mean, did you tell this person you weren't gonna tell this story?
they don't. I don't think they care.
I mean, we don't know
who
who
this person is.
We don't know who they are. You went to a party
Exactly.
and there was somebody there that you knew out of the thousands of
Yes.
people that it could possibly
Exactly.
be.
I mean, I don't think they would care regardless.
It's up
so.
to you. It's up to you if you want to tell the story. But we don't know who it is.
I'm telling the story because it's relevant to my frustration. So,
Okay.
so the whole night at the other party, they kept saying, "Oh, no, not at the party." During the conversation we were having with the people, they were just the whole time they were like, "Oh, I just need to be high to have this conversation. I can't talk about like this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. It's very weird. And so they kept saying this the whole time while we were deciding to go to the other party. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, like if that's what you need to do to like be able to socialize and all that jazz, yeah, then okay, take care of that. So then, you know, he took care of that. And so then I'm driving, not him, obviously. And so I'm driving to the other place, and he's just going on and on about how he is just like completely done. I'm like, just
like done, like I'm
balls, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, like trip.
I'm baked. I am fried. Yeah, basically. Once someone goes down that road, it's no.
I know. I was like,
where they're like, I'm so drunk. Shut up.
Yeah. I didn't think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And so I didn't think it was the biggest issue because I knew his friends that we were going to. I assumed that they were going to be having like a small gathering because the last time we hung out with them, it was a small amount of people, and that's just the type of personality that this person has.
Mm-hmm.
When we drove up to the house, and I tell you there was like 1,001 people there, I was like, oh my god!
You get there, it's like a miniature concert.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like,
is this at a house?
Different from the last. Yeah, this is at a house. I'm getting there. Wait. So we driving up on the street, and I said, so I'm gonna assume it's the house with all these people. And he's like, yeah. And so me,
I don't know. I'm too high. I don't.
Yeah, right. So I'm already in the mindset of, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a small little thing with people I already know. So when I saw there was a whole bunch of people there, my anxiety was like, oh, here we go. I was like, dang. I wasn't expecting this. They're like, you know what? It's cool because we've been working on ourselves. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna have a great time, socialize, and all that stuff. So then, long story short. Could not do anything or talk to anyone because I had to babysit my friend. I felt like if I even left his side, it would have been GG. Like I felt like it would have been over. Like so I was like, I can't
That's
even.
That's right. R.I.P.
Yeah.
I love that you said it would be. I love that you said it would be GG. It's just like
it would. It's like it's
bye.
Over. Yeah. And this girl even asked me. She was like, "Oh, do you want to play?" Yeah. And they were playing beer pong. And I was like, I've never played that. Now, but as much as I would like to for the experience, I can't because I have to drive because Lord knows he can't drive.
Oh.
So.
Is Uber a thing in where you live yet? Is it very big or not really?
Yeah, it is, but I'm not paying for one. What?
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess it just depends on it. Depends on how far you're driving, and if you think about
this was a 40-minute drive.
Oh, Virginia.
Yeah, this was in Norfolk. Yeah, nope.
I said on the last podcast that the parties were probably in Norfolk.
Yeah, that's usually where most things are.
Yeah, like the shootings and stuff.
Norfolk.
Yeah, I hate Norfolk.
But
I don't mind the upper side of it, like up in near Freemason. Is that what it's called? I think it's Freemason. Yeah, up there, up north. That's kind of a nice area, but it's not really doesn't matter. Okay, sorry, never mind.
Okay. So I was complaining a lot because there was more people at that party than there was space in the house, right?
You're like crushed between the people.
Yeah. Like you could barely move inside the house, so people would start going outside. And they have a pretty decent sized backyard, so people can, socialize out there. Then it starts to rain. What does everyone do? Oh, we gotta move inside.
Get on the ark.
I said no. I'm like, nope. So my friend, and he's dressed as a cultist. He has this white mat. He looks creepy. And he's just standing in a corner. I said, well, I'm ready to go whenever you are. And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we can go. I'm like, good, because everyone's about to come in from outside because it's raining. I'm not dealing with this. And then we left. But my whole thing is that people. That was my first time ever going to like a college house party. People, you have to realize you need a occupancy level. Okay, you can't that's a fire hazard. Like a safety hazard, a social hazard.
If
There's
a
way
fire,
too many people.
if a fire had happened, everyone's just
Everyone
stuck,
would have been dead. Yeah,
just stuck in the
basically.
house.
Yeah.
No one can
There
move.
was one bathroom for like about at least 100 people.
Oh man, that's
What?
yeah. That's too
No.
much. It's too. It gets that big. It's
So-
just too overwhelming. Too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then but for Halloween, actual Halloween, I dressed as I got a Spider-Man onesie, and that's what I wore to school.
oh, I
and
saw
then
that
that was
actually. I
great.
remember. I saw
The
a
kids
picture of
loved
that.
it. Yeah, I put a picture in the group chat and on my Instagram. But
Black. You
yes,
say you
that
went
was
from.
fun.
You see, you went from, Black Deadpool to Black Spider-Man. Nailed it.
basically, yep. Superheroes all day.
That's
That
right.
was my Halloween.
Yeah, I wish I was like wearing a cool costume like that. I just never want to put the effort in. And then it's like,
pretty
oh,
legit.
it's Halloween tomorrow. Whoops. Here's the thing I was going to say about Uber, though. So, here, a drink is going to cost you minimum $7 probably. And pretty much any drink that you get anywhere. The cheapest is going to be $7 and then $1 tip. So, $8 a drink or so. So, let's say that, and parking is probably going to cost you between $12 and $20. If you're going to go out drinking anyway, you're probably not going to want to be driving anyway. So you save the $20, you save the $18 you would have had for 3 drinks there, you pregame, and then you take an Uber with the money. Because the Uber costs you $7 and you can all share the cost, depending on how far you go. I know if it's 40 minutes, it's going to be a little more difficult, but that's why I tend to use Uber. But my rating keeps going down in Uber.
Wait,
I don't know why it is.
I think I dismissed what.
Okay.
Were you
so
talking to me? Like, was that directed for me?
sort of. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not important. I was just gonna start ranting about my Uber
Luke?
rating going down.
Wait, what?
Answer is yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, you cut out for a good 20 seconds.
Oh,
Oh, because I thought you were sorry. I'm so sorry. Can you say that one more time? I thought you were telling a random story, so I kind of zoned out. Not zoned out, like I wasn't listening. I just wanted
I do that all
my
the time,
full
Shane. Don't be
attention
ashamed.
wasn't what on you were saying, so then you paused. No, my full
everyone.
attention wasn't.
It's like there's 8 people on the podcast, and everyone's like, "No, Shane, it's fine." Everyone does that when Luke starts talking.
We're doing.
Just shut off. I know that. I know some of the
No.
people here. Some people in Seattle do that, where they're like, "I just."
No, that's not
You're
what it
like-
was. I was listening because I thought you were telling a story, and then you paused for a significant amount of time. So I was like, "Wait, am I supposed to say something?" Dang it! I wasn't really paying full attention. I was waiting for further into the story to get the details.
I was just talking about
Sorry.
the amount you pay for drinks, the amount you pay for
Yes.
parking, and the amount that an Uber costs. If you have 1, 2, or 3 drinks at home and then just pay
Yes.
for an Uber, it's actually
Gotcha.
cheaper than parking out there and paying for drinks there
Yes.
anyway. So people just
Okay.
do Uber because it's also safer. But you're driving
that makes a lot
45
of sense.
minutes, so it's kind of long. But it might
And
be,
two,
if you're getting-
speaking of drinking and driving, not that
Don't
I did that because
do it.
I couldn't, because at the first party, my friend had made these blood bags that they have in hospitals full of alcohol and other stuff. So there was different versions. And
it's
the
like
one-
it's
I
like
thought-
alcohol
I
from
thought I
someone who had a
took the one-
DUI.
Yeah. I thought I took the
kinda
one
funny.
that was cranberry and vodka because that's what the
Oh.
bag said. There was no vodka in that bag, and I was
was
pretty
just blood.
upset. When I
Just-
drank the whole thing, I just tasted a bunch of cranberry juice.
I was like, I got this bag expecting cranberry vodka. All I
But
got
that's
was
fine.
cranberries.
Did
I
you
mean,
go
ultimately,
to?
it's fine. Ultimately, it's fine because then I didn't have to worry about driving or anything. But
Did you go to Howl-O-Scream?
I have
No.
been before, but obviously I didn't go this year.
no,
Did you go? Did
I
you go,
don't.
John?
I don't do Busch Gardens.
You not like roller coasters,
I
Shane?
mean that.
Oh.
So I have a.
Oh.
I don't have a fear of roller coasters, but I have a great fear of falling from heights. And I used to have a big fear of things I'm not fully in control of, but I've kind of gotten over that. But I think for the Christmas Town Busch Gardens thing, I think I might go and do my first roller coaster.
It's kind of
just
funny.
to
It's like I
over
don't
that
have
fear.
I don't have a fear of roller
Yeah.
coasters. I'm
It's
just
not the
afraid
roller
of,
coaster that I'm
of
afraid
heights. Well, it's not like a roller coaster's just sitting
No,
there
I'm
and
not-
you're like,
I'm not even afraid of heights.
It's a roller coaster.
No. Yes, no. My thing is that I'm a paranoid person by nature, and I'm just, even though I've seen a million people go on roller coasters, I still have the fear that if I go on the roller coaster,
It's
I'll
just gonna
function, and I'm
it'll
gonna
just
fall out, and I'm
open.
gonna die.
It'll just open
Yeah,
up.
basically.
I mean, I used to be
So-
afraid of roller coasters when I was a lot younger.
But it's not the roller coaster I'm afraid of.
Well, I
the
used to
falling
actually
part.
be afraid of roller coasters because I just didn't like going up that high. I hated I would work myself up as it was like ting 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 ting
Mhm.
like going up. Oh, that was the worst. I hated that because it would just take too long. But
Yeah.
so I never really went on them,
That's
and
suspense.
then I got a girlfriend who liked Busch Gardens, and it was like, okay, I
Gotta
can't,
nut up.
Well,
I can't go to Busch
guess I gotta
Gardens and
do
be
it.
like, see you later, sweetheart. And she like goes on the roller coaster without me. I was like, this is
Yeah,
it.
you
I gotta
could-
get
I
over
would.
this.
Nah. I'd be like,
you-
yep.
I
you
mean,
at
you
the bottom.
could. She's like, wait,
No, I
you
probably would do the same thing.
you wait, you walk with her in line, and then when you're about to get on the roller coaster, you help her get into her seat and lock it down, and you just walk. You just walk through
I
it.
did that. I did that with someone. My friend. We went to Busch Gardens together. I stayed with her in line the whole time up the roller coaster, and then when they were getting into the seats, I said, "Okay, I'm walking back down. I'm not getting on this thing."
So tricky.
Last time I tried to ride Alpengeist, it rained, so everybody got out of line, but I stayed in line with my girlfriend. So we're first in line, first row. We go sit down, and I don't fit in the seat. And I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna ride this alone.
Was she already like strapped in?
Yeah, she was already strapped in, and like they couldn't like get the green light to go when they strapped me in, because there's like a screen that shows if you're locked or not.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's okay. No. The computer says I'm not locked in. I'm not gonna ride this.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's not okay. It's actually
It's like-
not okay.
It's just like, yeah, I think it's fine. No, I'm not going.
Nope.
Well, I'm trying to think of what the equivalent of that is. Like what else is like that?
The
Where
equivalent.
if someone's like, oh, it's like, yeah, I mean I think this parachute's great. Nope,
Yeah.
not gonna go. Or
It's like, oh, you want to go skydiving? Here's my spare parachute. Oh, who packed that? And when was the last pack?
Yeah, really, that string looks kind of weird on that parachute, but no, it's fine. It's fine. Just go. Nope, I'm not
Is
even.
it fine?
I'm riding this plane to the ground.
How about how about you go test it? You go find out for me.
That's right, because I don't want to be jumping out with just a backpack, and then
I
be
want
like,
to go skydiving.
can you imagine the feeling of that? Where, okay, this is not a good thing to get into if you're about to go skydiving, but if like you jumped out of the plane and then you're like, all right, parachute, you pull it and just nothing, you just rip the ripcord off, and then it's just like game over. Like you said,
Might as well
GG.
enjoy it.
emergency one?
This is
Well,
the
they
last.
have an emergency cord.
What if they messed up and they just gave you a school backpack?
Fucked up.
But I mean, like it'd be like, this is it. This is the last 5
I
minutes I
would
get.
pray
Just
for the
falling.
ability to fly, so I can go back up to that plane and cuss the person
You'd
out.
be falling
then
and
continue
falling,
to
and then
fall.
you'd pray to be saved, but the ability to fly, and about 5 minutes later, just be like, splat, done. Good game.
By the way, Shane, there's an indoor skydiving place.
But I mean, that's if you get a regular backpack and you still jump out of the plane, that says more about you than it does about the people who work for that company.
That's one of those, like, you probably should be dead.
that's you asked for that kind of.
That's actually something really scary that I heard about. It was about people jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge to commit suicide and stuff. And some guy did it, and he survived. And he said, this is the scariest thing about the idea of committing suicide by jumping, is as soon as he jumped, he was like, oh, I don't want to do this. And, like, that freaks me out.
I believe it. Yeah.
That freaks me out because it's like your feet leave, and as soon as they leave, you're like, wait, I don't want to do this. And it's like, too late. Nothing you can do about it.
never mind.
And then the whole way down, all the way till you die, you're just like, no! Awful. That freaks me out. On that note, let's end the... No.
Yeah, well, no, because I was like, well, I don't want to. Well,
It does freak me out.
I was gonna make a comment about it, but I was like, I don't want to get into this.
Yeah, we can maybe bring it up some other time. What were you about to say, John? You were going to say something about a indoor skydiving. Never done that. Never done real skydiving. Cool.
Have you've done the indoor one?
No, I haven't.
No, I've done neither. I want to do a lot of things, but
Skydiving, I don't know if I want to do skydiving. That's, the thing is, everyone does
it
skydiving,
feels like a
so
very
it doesn't
free
really.
experience.
It doesn't. I think it'd be fun to do
Very
it probably,
free.
but I feel like everyone does it too, so it's not really that exciting to be like, I went
I
skydiving
think
because
it would be-
like so many people do it now. It's such a bucket list that so
mean,
many people do.
What I mean, a lot of people do everything. So what is?
No, I mean
That
like
doesn't- that doesn't
everyone.
seem like a very
if-
logical reason.
I feel like if you asked people what their bucket list was, 9 out of 10 people would say skydiving, and so it's just kind of not that exciting
because you were
to do
literally
it.
You were literally above the world. That
Like
you
one
live
of
in,
my
and you were jumping into it.
one of my bucket list things is to see a real tornado.
and hopefully you won't die.
Yeah,
Hey,
see,
you
like-
can skydive and see a real tornado.
I'll just jump into the tornado.
Mhm.
Woo!
Yeah, how's that for an experience?
Just run towards the tornado with a sheet from my bed. Just hold it. just run into it with it like a sail. Just shoo. That's a good idea. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I also want to go real scuba diving. I've only been like in a pool
Scuba diving is cool, but scuba diving is also scary to me. I think I mentioned this on the podcast before because if you see like a shark and the shark, now I know the shark probably wouldn't ever come after you, but if he did, you're just sitting there and you just watch him for a mile coming to get you.
No, that's
You
when
can't-
you
you
go
can't-
to
You
the
can't go anywhere.
instructed professional with you, and you freak out and you say, "If you don't go kill that shark, I'm suing you for all you're worth."
You go to say there's a shark, but you can't because you got the
Just
thing in your
grabs
mouth.
Oh no.
That's right. It just comes up and eats you, bites your leg off. You just bleed out in the salt water. There's a lot of death in the last like couple
Yeah.
episodes. Sorry, it's my
I try
fault.
not. I try not to think about those things when I think about the things I want to do in life.
I
I'm
know.
trying
I'm
to think
about
of
to
like the
keep
pictures
Shane-
I'm gonna take underwater with my water-resistant phone. That's kind of what I'm thinking about.
I'm like doing my best to keep you in your little shell. Like, oh well, Shane, if you do this cool thing, here's all the
I
horrible
mean,
things that can happen
look,
to
I
you.
already keep myself in my own little shell enough. I don't need someone else doing that.
That's right. Don't listen to me. I'm just being funny.
I'm not.
Plugs. Let's finish up this podcast. John has a plug today, apparently.
Yeah, I do. So Saturday, me and some coworkers are going to be doing an Extra Life stream. If you don't know what Extra Life is, it's charity for children's hospitals. So we're going to be playing video games for either 12 hours straight or 24 hours straight.
Big difference.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun anyways, regardless of 12 or 24 hours. It is a big difference, though.
Where's it going to be streamed?
I can't remember the name of the user that's streaming it, but I'm going to host it on my stream, which is twitch.tv/singlewhitegirl, one word.
That's the
Wait,
first time you've ever
wait.
mentioned your Twitch.
Wait, why is it called Single White Girl?
Because that's my Xbox username. Duh.
It's just like this is welcome to the
What?
world of John.
Single White Girl.
It's a long story, but basically when I was in high school, I used a voice modulator to troll people into thinking I was a girl on online video games. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, one of these
Okay,
days we're gonna
fair
have to get into some of the crazy
What
stuff that
game?
John has done on to troll people on the internet.
what game? Counter-Strike, Dota, Call of Duty, numerous games.
That's like everything.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Shane,
That's
what's,
cool.
What's your plug?
Oh yeah, so you guys can check out the podcast that I host called the Pop Talk Podcast. You can find that on SoundCloud at Pop Talk Podcast. Send us songs, send us whatever, talk to us, which we've actually been getting a lot of like interaction lately on Twitter, so that's been pretty cool. So thank you if you guys listen to this podcast as well. Thank you. But
Yay.
also follow my personal. Oh yeah, there's also our Twitter at Talkin' Pop, and then my personal Twitter is at Mr. McCatty, MRMCCATTY. So that's happening, and then I may have something to potentially say next week, or maybe even this weekend potentially. But just follow my Twitter for news, or I'll just talk about it next podcast.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's my plug.
Okay, you can follow me on Twitter at Luke Roxwold, and same for my Instagram at Luke Roxwold. You can look me up on YouTube, Luke Roxwold. Just basically type my name into the internet, and you'll find me something. You'll find the stuff that I do. But follow me on all those platforms. I've been trying to keep people updated. I'm working with Shayne, trying to figure out this whole Twitter thing because I just don't feel it. And
It's
I
a
don't want-
lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, so follow me on that stuff. I am getting ready to finish up 2 different vlogs that I've been kind of spacing out on because the other plug, I'm working on a movie. The script is almost finished. We had a bunch of breakthroughs today on that, and I'm really, really excited for where it's going to go. We're moving things along. I got almost all the equipment that I need. We're getting actors. We're getting people to work on the crew. Script, like I said, is almost finished, and it's really looking good. I'm really getting excited to film it, and I'm hoping to get the ball moving on that really soon. So yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Check out everybody on all our plugs. Check out all our other episodes, and subscribe and follow us and do all that stuff and be cool and whatever else that you're gonna do on the weekend. So thanks, guys.
Peace out. Thanks for listening. Outro music.
Outro music.
Cows go. That's my Laser Quest tag name.
Single white girls and cows go moo.
So
bye, guys.
Find me.